This is the Healthy Business Podcast, the show for ambitious business owners who want to grow and scale in a healthy way. I'm Sarah Cook, and I'll be sharing with you tips, inspiration, and proven methods from leading business experts, entrepreneurs, and health and wellness professionals to help you grow your business with more income and having more impact, but in a way that works for you. Because when you have clarity and strategy, you can achieve the results you want.
Good evening. Hope you are well. Hope you're having a good week. I'm coming live tonight because I want to talk about mindset. I want to talk about what happens if we don't have a positive mindset. And I'm also going to share some of the things that you can do, some of the things you can implement to ensure you do have a positive mindset. So if you're joining me, give me a little wave. Let me know in the comments that you are here, that you're listening, that you're watching to me. And if you are catching this on replay and you've got any questions, any thoughts, then just put #replay so I can come in and check in and answer anything that you might have as well. So feel free to tag me if you've got any specific questions. Now, I just want to caveat this because I'm not a mindset coach. However, I really do understand the importance of having a positive mindset, and various parts of my journey, various things that I've been through have really meant that I've had to focus on my mindset and really have that sort of inner drive to achieve the things that I've wanted to and achieve the things that I've been able to. So whilst I'm not, a kind of a qualified mindset coach, I'm not a psychologist, I wanted to share with you some of the things that I do as a normal person, as a regular person, to have that positive mindset. Because I think from being a sports person, from having injuries, from having setbacks in sort of business perspective, having corporate burnout, having postnatal depression, I've had to come back from lots of different things. I've had to start my business from scratch in a completely different country with no friends or family support. And I've had to then move back to, I've moved to different parts of the world where I haven't known anybody. And all of that comes down to mindset as to how I've been able to achieve the things that I have. So I want to share with you some of the things that I've been doing and that I have done that might help you. And I'm also going to touch on some of the things that if we notice that our mindset is going into negative space, what that means for us and what that means for our business as well. So let me know in the comments if you have got any limiting beliefs, because quite often that kind of shows up in our mindset, and limiting beliefs and the things that you think you can't do, the things that you're worried about. And a lot of the stuff that comes up quite common is that feeling like we're not good enough, feeling like everyone's going to make an opinion about us, not showing up in the ways that we want to, and then sort of long-term consequences of that, and not seeing the success of the things that we really want to, whether that's in life or whether that's in business. And so if we don't have that sort of positive space, we tend to look for confirmation. We tend to look for that sort of reassurance that there is negativity around us. And I think the last few months, the last year or so, has really tested our mindsets, tested our boundaries. It's tested those beliefs of what we want to achieve. And it can become all consuming. And when we're consumed, when we're surrounded by negativity, it's really hard to kind of take a step back and go, do you know what? That's other people's issues. That's other people's opinions. That's other people's thoughts. And it also sometimes means that we then don't look for the successes that we've achieved, or, we sort of focus on those negative pieces. So if we're surrounded by negativity, we focus on the negative pieces as well. It's just the way our brain works, because we look for that confirmation that things aren't going right, rather than us being able to get in that positive way of looking for opportunities. And when we're not looking for opportunities, it means that we're stilting the growth of ourselves, stilting the growth of our business, and the potential to really grow and really thrive in our business as well. And that then means that we don't hit our goals. It means we don't see the success that we want to. So those are some of the things that I've noticed that have happened to me, but also that's going on in the world with, people who are spending all their time on social media and all the news. And it's one of the things that I have stopped doing, I've actively stopped doing, is stopping looking at every single social media thread when there's negativity. I've unfollowed people. I've come out of groups where there's negativity. I don't watch the news because I don't want to be consumed with this constant negative space. It doesn't serve me. I noticed that my mental health was being affected and I was turning into this really negative person. But what I have done is really purposely focused on the positive things. looking for the positive people, looking for positive environments, doing the things that make me feel good and feel happy. Because, and I think also part of that is using positive language where I can do, and reframing things. So there's a lot of stuff we can't control at the moment, and we all know that. We know there's a lot of stuff we can't control. I really try to focus on the stuff I can control. So using the language that is positive to me. So if there's something I can't do, I'll add that word yet. There's something that I can't do, then I will learn how to do it, or I'll ask for help for it. And that's okay. None of us are going to know everything ever, and that's fine. But looking at ways that you can reframe that rather than thinking, oh, I'm never going to be able to do this. Just think about how you can reframe that or rephrase it in a way that you can do it, or you can do it if you get support on X, Y, and Z. The other thing that I've really tried to do is to implement a bit of a routine. This has really helped kind of avoid that overwhelm. I've been juggling 2 little ones with homeschooling. My work boundaries have been tested because I've been working at different times. Hey, Catherine, nice to see you. And having that routine has really helped avoid that overwhelm, because I can time block. I know the things that are important. I have priorities on my lists. I have lots of different lists, and I prioritize them on a weekly basis and then on a daily basis, which means I can then focus on the stuff that is actually going to make a difference to me and to my business, and also enabling me to sort of move forward to hit my goals, both from a lifestyle perspective, both from a financial perspective. The other thing that I've been really trying to do is to celebrate success. In this group, we have a Friday success thread, Friday, which is all about celebrating your wins. And it is really important that we do celebrate those because, whether they're big, whether they're small, they're all really important, because when we work on our own and we're self-employed and we're running our own business, there's no one really to pat ourselves on the back and say, you've done a great job. This week has been tough, but you've got through it and you've juggled everything. So that's exactly why I have that thread in here, because it is so important that we are surrounded by a group of like-minded people. You're all in the health and wellness space. You're all amazing at what you do. We've all been through challenges, but there is always something to celebrate. Even if it's just surviving homeschooling, even if it's just the fact that you managed half an hour of self-care, that is really important. And all of that is part of you showing up as the CEO of your business, because you are your biggest asset. And celebrating those little wins just as much as those big wins. It's not about, these massive launches that people see on social media. It's not about, getting 100 people into your group in 2 days. That's not what I want to celebrate. I want to celebrate you guys and the little things that you've been doing. So many of you have pivoted and added new different revenue streams. You've really tried to focus on what you can do during these tough times. And that all should be celebrated. So using that thread that we have every Friday, just to check in with yourself and remind yourself that actually you've done a great job. The other thing that you can do is to get a journal, is to have a diary, and every week just write a little comment or a little note that says what you've achieved that week. Because then when you are having a bad day, you can scroll back through all of those, flick through them and go, do you know what? I'm doing okay. I've moved forward. Every small step is still a step forward. And have a little a book or a file or somewhere where you keep your testimonials and your positive reviews, because if you haven't been seeing in-person clients recently, then it's probably a really long time since you've been able to help someone from help them feel better, help them feel healthier, stronger, whatever niche you're in. So having that little place where you've got all your reviews, your positive feedback, can really help boost your confidence, to help boost your mindset. And that then takes you into wanting to be more productive, wanting to look for new opportunities, thinking about different ways that you can help your clients, help your audience. So it enables us to choose our response in a much more positive way, because we look for those positive confirmations. I mentioned earlier about looking for negative confirmations. It's exactly the same. When we're in a positive cycle, we look for positive confirmations. And if we've got a little toolbox, something like our reviews, our testimonials, our successes, that's a really, really good little toolbox that you can go back to and think, actually, do you know what? I am going to pat myself on the back, or I'm going to reward myself, or I'm going to, say well done to me. And that's why I love having that thread and you for sharing what you do and how you've, what successes you've had for the week, because it means we can always celebrate you as well. So I would definitely encourage you to do that and look out for the Friday threads. And again, I suppose part of that, kind of looking for that positivity, having goals, knowing what you want to achieve, from a financial side as well as a lifestyle side. Knowing what you want to achieve means that you will take action in a positive way. You go back to your why, you go back to your passions, back to your purpose, and really understanding that means that if you are having a bad day, think about that why. Is it about your clients? Is it about that house that you want to buy? Is it about the holiday that you're saving for? Is it about the children? Is it something that you want to give for them? Or is it something about you? Whatever it is, go back to that why, and that will drive you forward. That'll give you that reassurance, that confidence to go, actually, I'm not going to sit on the sofa today because I know that I want to achieve X, Y, and Z to be able to help whoever it is that you want to help. And that can really help. And I suppose kind of tying it all back together from that sort of positive side of things, not just the environment that you're in, not just the people that you're spending time with, not just the social media that you're following, the news that you're watching, the TV programs, looking after yourself. So self-care is a massive part. I've talked a little bit about that. Sort of, you are the CEO and you need to look after yourself because you are the biggest asset. But look at your lifestyle, look at what you're eating, look at how you're exercising. Do some of the things that make you happy. It could be that, once a day for 10 minutes, you're just dancing around your kitchen and having some great music on there. It could be that you're reading your favorite magazine for 10 minutes. It could be that you're phoning a friend. Whatever it is that that builds you up, that gives you that positivity, that's going to make all the difference for you and how you're feeling. So I would love to know, let me know in the comments some of the things that you do. If you're feeling a little bit low, what do you do to help build that mindset, to help really give you that confidence? Because that's what it's all about, isn't it? When we're running our own business, it can be really hard. But if you have that little toolbox that supports you, that gives you that confidence, that gives you that mindset to believe that not only are you great at what you do, but you can help people in the ways that you want to, but actually that you're able to achieve your goals in the ways that you want to, is so important. So I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments as well. And hopefully that's been helpful. I didn't want to kind of do a long session tonight. I really wanted to kind of give you a few different sort of thought-provoking ideas really as to what happens if we don't have a positive mindset. What happens if we believe those limiting beliefs, that negative spiral that we can very quickly, very easily get into, especially when we're not seeing our clients in the ways that we want to. And also from a positivity side, getting out and having fresh air. Winter's really hard generally, but looking for those opportunities to be able to go out in the fresh air, get the daylight hours, really can make a difference on, your sleep patterns, how you're feeling, what food you want to then consume. All of that is all tied into it. And it's just that reassurance, that reaffirming cycle of positivity that can really make a massive difference. Hey, Katie. So journaling, walking, having a bath. Yeah, all amazing things. And I think, sometimes we overcomplicate self-care and think that we need to spend a whole day doing it. Sometimes we might need to, but actually it can just be, 10 minutes. It can be half an hour is enough to get us back into the things that we want to. You have a to-do list. I love that. Do you mean to-do list or a to-do list? I love the idea of a to-do list. And what down you've achieved each week. Sometimes we get overwhelmed with what we have on our to-do list. Absolutely. We can have, running your own business, we have so many things to do, right? But knowing what is actually going to make a difference to your business, knowing what your priorities are, knowing what your goals are, that's when we can be really intentional with how we spend our time and slightly reduce that overwhelm, because we don't need to do everything. We don't need to be in every social media platform. We don't need to be doing all the things that people tell us to do. What we do need to do is the stuff that's actually going to make a difference to our business and to achieve our goals. Did a 5-mile walk in the rain today. Oh, amazing. Yeah, sometimes it's just, the weather can put us off doing things, but actually, again, it goes back to that mindset, doesn't it? Weather is there, it's going to change. It's always going to change. It's going to be sunny, it's going to be raining. If we've got the right gear, it doesn't really matter what the weather's doing to be able to go out there. It is a to-do list. I love that, Catherine. Celebrate what's been achieved. I think that's amazing. I think it's so important, isn't it, to have your to-do list as well as a to-do list, and really thinking about the little things as well as the big things that you've achieved, because then you can go back through that and remember how amazing you are, what you've achieved, all the great stuff that you've been doing. So ladies, I'm going to leave it there because I'm super conscious that, it is the evening, you've got to have your downtime. But hopefully that's given you a little bit of food for thought on your mindset, your positivity, things that you might need to take out, things that you might want to dial up. Think about that as well, because that is really important when we're looking at how we spend our day, how we spend our time, what we do with it, and what we focus on. And I know you're all amazing and you've all got so much potential to really have an amazing year this year, because we're in the health and wellness space, right? Everybody needs health and wellness support. So if we can't do it, then nobody can. And I'm so excited about being able to kickstart this next week. So let me know if you're watching this on replay, you've got any questions, any comments. Enjoy the rest of your evenings. Take care, everybody.
Thanks for listening to the Healthy Business Podcast. You can get a copy of my best-selling book, Healthy You, Wealthy Business, over on my website, sarahcookcoaching.com/book. In there, you'll find practical advice, useful tools, and real actionable steps to help you be your best self and build a wildly successful business with ease, so that you can create a limitless life in the way that you choose.